What's happening, everybody? Hope you guys are feeling great. I'm Team Kills, and what I like to do is make gaming easier. Now I got a question. The Syam, the Pennant, the Drak Split Swords, the Ceramic Dagger, the Destreza, I think I said that wrong, the Harmony, the Korumm, and the Kuva Sledge. Now, some of these weapons are crit, and some of these weapons are status. Some of these weapons are both. What could these weapons have in common, is my actual question, besides all being in my inventory, and there's no way you guys could have known that. All these weapons are puncture based, as in, their major damage is puncture before modding. These are all really good weapons. While I'm not really a huge fan of the Destreza, whatever, I'm not a huge fan of the fencing sword, but they are all really good weapons. Melee Doughty, Melee Doughty is a new arcane from the new 1999 Warframe update. Now, this arcane raises your critical damage depending on how high your puncture status is, or how high your puncture damage is on a status weapon. It sounds really good. It also sounds kind of weird. Like, how good is critical damage on a status weapon? Well, it's actually really good. Let me explain the trick. The trick is, the only weapons this is actually worth doing it on are weapons that puncture is the major status type. Very quickly, if you have a weapon that's 100% status, it's got 3000 damage, 3 different elements, and each element has 1000 damage. Your status chance is going to split evenly between those 3 1000 damages. That would be like 33% status chance for each element. But if one of those elements has more damage, or a higher percentage of your total damage at like 60% for the puncture, then you will have a 60% chance that puncture element, or whatever element is the highest, will take effect. Alright, now, most of these weapons are more crit than status, or they're more status than crit. There is a dually like the Kuva Sledge, which you can get almost a 70-60% split on crit and status. And of course, the weapons that you have and the direction that you want to go in is up to you. But with this arcane, you kind of want to go for status. With the right amount of status, you can make a fake blood rush, or maybe a status rush, if that makes sense. Like I said before, super weird. It works well with just True Steel. It actually works well with just Blood Rush. But of course, it works best with a full Blood Rush. But in my mind, it works even better with Weeping Wounds. Weeping Wounds raises your status chance with your combo counter. It's just like the Blood Rush mod. With the School of Nariman, this will make it so that you don't have to put any combo mods on there, or actually you don't even need to think about your combo counter at all. You can just focus on status, crit damage, or crit chance. Just remember, the higher your puncture status chance or puncture damage on a status weapon is, the higher your critical damage is going to raise when you slap this arcane on. Now, I'm not sure if or where the cap is on the Weeping Wounds, but if there is a cap, you're going to reach it. Now, the higher the status, the better, or the better it looks. But with Weeping Wounds, like I said, it doesn't actually have to look as good as something like the Vaycore Sydon? I'm saying that wrong. This is awesome. Double-digit crit damage? This looks really, really good here, and it works, even on Steel Pass. You've got weapons like the Pennant, which doesn't need this upgrade. I'll just be honest, like, you could do it. It'll work. It doesn't need it. It really doesn't. It feels unfair. The Drak Split Sword? Oh, that feels more fair. To be honest, I'll go way deeper on this weapon in one of my weapons from the Volt videos, because this works great with both forms. You have the dual dagger, and especially with the heavy sword mode. This is great. But between the Endon or Eden, the Vaycore Sydon, and the Kuva Sledge, I think these builds, I've shown you a few ways that you can do this. So hopefully you can use the weapons that you have, your puncture-based weapons, whether it's these ones or better ones or different ones or any one. You can use the mods that you have, and you can take advantage of this awesome mod because it is, I said mod, awesome arcane, because it is something special. All of the arcanes from the new Warframe 1999 update are really good. By the way, one of the easy ways to get them is to go through Exterminate. If you can get one of the lower level ones, one of the bounties, every time you get that chest, if you go solo, you only need to pick up 2 of the beacons and it will open up and give you an arcane. Same with the tank levels. Every time you kill a tank, you can get one of arcanes. But the tank may take technically longer than it does to go through the Exterminate. So that's why I just say it's the best way to do it. You can also buy them from Eleanor for standing, but there's so many good ones. It doesn't matter which one you get. You pretty much want them all. But this one is one of the first ones you should get your hands on. Mainly because if you go full status like the Vaycore Sydon, this thing kills things that it shouldn't. And it does it in a way that confuses me. It's awesome. And just the thought of how high Weeping Wounds is going to bring my critical damage multiplier up on the Eden once it's maxed out is scary. A good kind of scary. Scary for the enemies. That's why I didn't do the math on it, because it's going to equal out to a shit ton. Another thing to keep in mind when you guys are tweaking around with your own mods and your own weapons, crit damage a lot of times is better than overall damage, as long as you have the right status on. What I mean is, if you put on different status mods to raise your status, but it takes away from your puncture, overall puncture status of it being the major status, then you could say you have 900 damage times 3. When you use the arcane, it's going to go up just a little bit. But if you had, say, 500 damage and it's mostly puncture because you backed off those other status mods, when you put this arcane on, it's going to jump to like 7. 7 times 500 is more than 3 times 900. You know what I mean? Like, you might need to do a little math on it. It's going to be a pain, but it's going to be worth it. I guarantee it. Now, on that note, get a puncture weapon. I hope this helped. I hope you join the team of killers. Become a killer of teams. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. It's only one of the ways we can talk. Make sure you keep it easy in life. And remember, just keep gaming.